It's the Cool Bible Guy!
What's up, guys? It's Steve, the Cool Bible Guy.
Did you miss me?
Today we're going to be talking about the first letter of the Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 7. This is from the New Testament of the Bible. But as always, before we discuss the verse of the day, let's set your intentions for this Bible Hangout in the comments below, because a person who aims at nothing hits it with amazing accuracy. So let's be intentional and on purpose today. Now, let's get into the verse.
So let's do this thing!
So then, neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but God who makes things grow. This verse is part of the larger passage in which the Apostle Paul is addressing the Corinthian nature. Paul's kind of emphasizing the idea that human efforts in the human efforts in spreading the message of Christianity, basically represented metaphorically by planting and watering, and basically that they're insufficient on their own. The ultimate source of growth and success in the Christian faith is attributed to God. It highlights the dependence on divine intervention for spiritual growth and success in spreading the message of Christianity. So here's an interesting thing.
I'm listening.
As Christians, a lot of us we have this huge desire to help. I mean, me personally, I spent 11 years as a real estate agent. Obviously, it's a very highly focused job on customer service. It's basically everything but being a real estate agent sometimes, where you're being a psychologist, you're talking people off the ledge, you're almost playing the role of divorce attorney, you're playing the role of babysitter, you're playing the role of customer retention specialist. I mean, you're doing everything.
Wow.
All of this is going into the customer service too. At the end of the day, you've got to make sure you're taking care of the customer and you are taking care of other people. Now, to bring this back to the Bible, the Christians are like this too. Christians want to constantly, we're constantly told to give. Let's give as much as we can. And obviously God will take care of us the rest of the way. Like, that's good. It's hard to do that though all the time. And my love languages are giving and receiving gifts and words of affirmations. The giving and receiving gifts, words of affirmation, that's all good. The thing is, so I'm constantly wanting to give people things. I like to give people things, and I'm always trying to serve and serve and serve. And the problem with, so I was actually hired to be a real estate coach at some point, where I was actually teaching all of the new real estate agents who came into the office how to do certain tasks. This is where teaching as a real estate agent and also being a good Christian at the same time kind of overlap a little bit, where you tell people to do certain things or behave properly in order to achieve results. As a real estate agent, great, here, do these things, make phone calls, stay top of mind, all these things, you'll get good business. As a Christian, you tell people, hey, look, keep God as the focus of your life. Keep God at the center of your life. Talk to God a lot. Keep a close relationship with him. And, regardless of what you tell people, at the end of the day, people just don't listen. They don't listen, they don't retain the information, and they actually don't utilize the information at all. And it's just like, why do I even bother?
Come here. It's okay.
And this is the part where this verse kind of really separates that problem from you and kind of relieves you of that burden, is because this basically says, because you're essentially planting the seeds, you're watering the garden, but at the end of the day, are not the one who's actually making it grow. What you need to do this is why consistency is so important in both business and in religion. If you set yourself up, you got to be showing up constantly, day after day after day, and then you constantly show up for God and whatever he has assigned for you that day. If you show up all the time, you start to get results. You have to let go and understand that you did your part, and God gives you the high five and says, hey, good job, you showed up today. Don't worry about whether they listen to you or not. I'll take care of that part. Leave that part to me. I got it from here. That's basically what God's kind of saying here. So this is a cool verse to kind of relieve you and separate you from that burden. And then let's go over real quick a couple of ways we can apply the first letter of Corinthians into our lives here, at least this chapter 3, verse 7 anyway. 1, humility and dependence on God. We want to embrace humility by acknowledging that your efforts alone are not enough. You want to cultivate a mindset of dependence on God for guidance, wisdom, and success in your endeavors. Number 2, we want to prayer and seeking God's will. Regularly engage in prayer and seek God's will in your decisions and actions. Invite God to guide and shape your life, trusting in his plans and that they're greater than your own, and which is typically the case. A lot of the times God's plan is something that's a lot greater and in a totally different realm than where you think as well. So trusting God's timing, understand that growth and success may not always be happening in whoa, sorry, can't read what I wrote down here. Jeez.
I'm sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
Try that again. Understand the growth and success may not always happen according to your timeline. We want to trust in God's timing and have patience as you navigate through the different aspects of your life. This is huge because we, in today, 2024, we want everything in the next 4.5 seconds. This is actually really important in regards to money and investing too. When you plant things, there's literally no shortcut. You can't like make the plant grow faster. It just grows at its own pace, and it'll grow healthier and stronger based on when you water it or what kind of plant food. But same thing goes with money too. You have to be constantly investing, constantly be putting a little bit of money aside, and eventually you have a retirement fund, or eventually you have a college fund, whatever you're trying to save up for. So you can't skip that. You can't skip the time. I feel like it was Albert Einstein who said this. Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. All right, he who understands it earns it. He who does not pays it. That's a true thing, both in religion and in finances. So basically use compound interest to help you with your relationship with God. That's it. Number 4, relationships with others. Recognize the importance of treating others with love and respect. Understand that everyone is on their own journey, and your role might be just to plant the seed and water and get the hell out of there. So just be supportive and encouraging to those around you. Stewardship is number 5. Take responsibility for your actions and the resources entrusted to you. To own them. Be great with what you have and do the best with what you have. But also acknowledge that the ultimate outcome is in God's hands. Be a good steward of your time, talents, and opportunities. Use what God gave you, and just do what you got to do, and then God will handle the rest. Spiritual growth is number 6. Focus on your spiritual growth and relationship with God. Invest time in reading and understanding the Bible, participating in worship, and nurturing your faith through prayer and reflection. You got to have some time to yourself to do this, guys. Especially investing time in understanding the Bible is something that is so far underrated that I would have never thought I'd be doing this, talking about the Bible, but until I actually learned that the Bible is not just a book about like love and religion. I've also found out that the word money and it is mentioned more than the word love. And the Bible is actually a book on personal finance. It's also a book on personal development. And these are all things that are never advertised. So these are some cool things you guys can get into in terms of spiritual growth. And then lastly, number 7, letting go of control and release the need to control every aspect of your life. Surrendering control to God can bring peace and alleviate the stress that often comes with trying to manage everything independently. Do you know how much pain and agony that must be to just want to manage everything all the time, constantly? That's got to be such an agony. Calm down, take a step back, let go of a lot of that crap. You can't carry that much weight around forever without getting exhausted, whether it be physically or mentally. So let it go. Focus on the things that you can control, which is only at the core of it 3 things: your words, your actions, and your thoughts. You can't control anything outside of that. So just don't bother. Just like we said before, just show up, do what you were supposed to, do what God told you to do. That's basically it, guys. Keep it simple.
Simple as that.
But yeah, so guys, and that pretty much wraps it up. Remember though, these are biblical principles, and everybody's journeys, everyone's on their own personal and unique journey, so everyone's going to do this a little bit differently, and that's totally okay. It's just important to seek the guidance from your faith, your community, your mentors, any spiritual leaders you may have, and those people will help you navigate this process. So let's end on a prayer. God, place a specific person in my path this week who needs you. Fill me with boldness and grace to share your mighty name. Use me to plant a seed, and I trust you with the growth. In Jesus' name, amen.